Hey, it's the Desktop Confessional Friday edition. I know that I haven't been online for the last couple days or so. It's been a little bit zany, mainly because I took Thursday off, and I'll tell you all about it. But Wednesday, I had to spend a lot of my time making sure that I covered my ass for Thursday for the first time that I'm actually taking a day off, and someone knew about it. And so that's quite nice that I actually did that. And so yeah, it was just a lot of stuff to do, and unfortunately, I didn't work through lunch. But instead, I had to do the normal lock the door, turn the lights off, and then hide under the table for 30 minutes and take a nap because I just needed to get through the remainder of my day. So, there wasn't really much to talk about for Wednesday. I will say that as you know, last Friday, I completely lost my shit, and and ever since then, and ever since Monday, when the principal pulled me over to apologize for my for the assumptions that were made toward my work ethic and ability to do my job, because you can't talk to me. Things have been a little bit tamer. I'm actually getting emails, asking me what I'm, like, hey, this is happening, this is happening. It's like you're actually talking to me, and I'm finding this pretty humorous because it's I still feel like it's too little too late at this point. And there's a lot of things where it would take a miracle really to repair enough of the damage for me to go, there's really no other place that I'd rather work. And so it's kind of a bummer, but at the same time it's like, okay, if you're going to make my eventual exit a little bit nicer, I'm okay with that. And if you're going to take the time to do it, then that's really cool. Like, okay, fine. You're gonna try to atone for it. That's cool, but at the same time, you can only do so much, and then you're just like, I need to get out. So Thursday was my first personal day that I've taken this school year, and I really have not taken a actual personal day, except for my non working days back in the summer. But this is my first personal day of the school year, and needless to say, nothing blew up. I came back to school and nothing was on fire, which was really good because obviously, supposedly I can do my job, but yeah, there's that. And so Thursday, I kind of spent it doing a few things. I had mentioned a few times that I was slated to take a test for the Fullerton School District on Thursday, and so that began at 8 a.m. And so what I did for fun, because I was really curious about, because one concern for me is overall commute. You live in LA, getting somewhere from point A to point B could be it takes a while. So, with a motorcycle, you can only chop off so many minutes. But I played the scenario thinking, okay, if I were to work in the Fullerton Unified area, the zone around that area, which is basically the 91 freeway and the 5, so it's right at that section of the 91 and the 5 where it all comes together. I wanted to see how long it would take me to take my car. And so I did. It's about 22 miles away ish, about 22, 24 miles away from my house. And I took the car, and it took me just under 35 minutes. I mean, it was probably closer to about 32 minutes because there was a slight incident on the 91. But I got to the school district office in about half an hour. And I'm thinking in my head, if this is what normal is like in a car, I could only imagine what would have happened if I had my motorcycle and had lane split through that traffic incident. I would have gotten there in 25 minutes. So I was quite impressed by that. That was kind of a nice motivator, especially considering that I went into this test, and the email that they gave me for this test was, please allot 3 hours for this test. You're going to be spending 3 hours in there taking it. Um, and the test, because this is for an instructional aid, a technology instructional aid position at the district. So I don't know, like, if the job were offered to me, if I get through all of this testing. I don't know which one of the 20 schools in the district I'd be sent to, but pretty much, within the area of Fullerton. So, which, in a previous life I lived in La Habra, so this is not new to me. So anyway, we had like there were three sections of this test. And the first part, two of them were Scantron, the other one was a computer task that had to be done on a MacBook. I'm like, okay, sure, I'm thinking uh, instructional aid, okay, technology, sure. So the first test I had was on Scantron. It was 10 questions, 15 minutes. Everyone finished long before it. But it was basically questions that to prove that you weren't retarded. Yeah. So a couple of the questions included, which of the following software is not an email client? And what is the command for paste? They might as well just ask me if I knew what my name was at that point. So I proved that I wasn't retarded, and so then I got the I got the second test, which was 67 questions, and it was another Scantron, so I ended up taking that, and that was a mixed bag. That had nothing to do with technology altogether. It was a basic skills test. I went, are you kidding me? So this basic skills test had English grammar, word choice, sentence ordering, and then mathematics-wise, it had things like relating to geometry and algebra, pre-algebra. And then there were some questions in regards to classroom management and discipline, which, okay, that's fine. But here I am trying to figure out, remembering, having to recall what FOIL is and the order of operations and trying to solve for X. And I went, wait, what does this have to do with this technology instructional aid position? I'm completely confused, but there you go. Anyway, I get through it, 67 questions, get through that, okay? Third round, okay, this is MacBooks. This is the stuff that I was actually waiting for. So we all get MacBooks, and they're handed to us. We're told not to open them, but here I am picking up the unit. I'm just picking up the unit like this and looking at it and seeing what kind of stuff there is. And it turns out it's like a 2008 spec white MacBook. So it's the three generations ago from this thing, plastic, MacBook. Oh, cute. Which means I'm probably not going to be doing something crazy intensive. So we open the books, and I'm asked to do 2 tests. The first task is you need to create a Google form. I'm not kidding here. The first task was create a Google form, make it pretty, make all but 2 questions required to answer, and use proper descriptors, and then send it to an email address. That was task number 1. Yeah. Task number 2 was go to Google Calendar, create an event, invite a person, make it pretty, have it occur for 3 straight weeks, from 12 to 12:30 at this location. And so all these things to create an invite, and then invite a person in the same email that I used for the first presentation, for the first task. So needless to say, I was the second person to finish overall. And only because I wasn't, I just made sure that, I did everything, and I sent one of the items twice. Yeah. I looked around just glancing because I was at the front of the room, so I couldn't really see if anyone else was struggling or anything like that. But I turned around, and there were people, by the time I'd finished the calendar invite, there were people still barely trying to figure out how to do the Google form. Yeah. So this is very interesting. I thought that the test was kind of funny. Now, I think the part that brings so much amusement to this is that this position that I'm testing for, and like I said, I can't guarantee if anything's going to happen. I'm just glad that I had the chance to do it and I was invited to do it. So, whatever happens, happens. But I was amused by the fact that this particular instructional aid position pays more than what I'm doing right now. And if I gave you the laundry list as to everything that I'm doing right now, and also the priority list and everything I've had to do, I'm just like, are you serious that you're paying at least 25% more? And I'm only doing things that insult my intelligence? And I'm going, oh wow. Now I I'm really considering this job. I really wish I make it to the next round, and they pick me up for an interview. I really, really hope they do. Oh man, it's like, believe it or not, you can actually get paid here at a school without being basically forced into slavery. I wonder what that's like. Oh my god. Anyway, so that was done by 10. So I got there at 8. I was done by 10. Had to go to Marina Del Rey. Had to go finish some stuff. And then I had to do one last Uber ride for a bonus, which involved me having to take a family to Jollibee. They were visiting from out of state. And the mom, who was a Filipino, was like, do you guys have Jollibee in LA? And I'm going, I just dumped them in Carson. It was over. So, and after that, had to take Eleanor to the to the mechanic for routine maintenance, and of course I provide all of the parts. And and then I had to go take Pam, the Versus, over to get my hair cut. So maintenance for me, and then over to Cal State Long Beach, where I was helping out with new student orientation last night, and that was kind of fun. So that's been the last few days. I mean, I feel a lot happier. I'm not as stressed out and pissed off. I am still fed up with this place, but at least it's a little bit tolerable. A little bit more tolerable. It makes me wonder if I scared them enough to say, hey, you know what? I think we need to pull our heads out of our asses and actually realize that Christine can actually do something that's really useful. So that's been nice. And then as for tonight, if anyone's interested, Toyota Sports Center, 7:45 p.m. I have another early hockey game. That one is open admission, of course, and we're going to play the War of the Pretty Jerseys. So that's, or the shirts versus the blouses. I don't know what you want to call it, but hockey at 7:45, Toyota Sports Center, El Segundo, if you're down for it. And there's beer and pizza, and if you guys stick around, I will bring my deck of Cards Against Humanity. So, if you'd like to play with a bunch of other, other people, please come on down, meet my teammates. We're all cool like that. Yeah. So that's been quite nice. In addition to that, this has been the year of the replacements, if I have to say. My motorcycle gear, at least the stuff that I've been wearing every day, is pretty much at the 10-year mark. 2017, I got my Aerostitch equipment had to be replaced. And so just for fun, I called Aerostitch because I was planning on looking at a rival, Motoport in San Marcos, which is here in California. It's just north of San Diego near Escondido. And I was considering going to a rival company or competitor of Aerostitch to see if I could, get something a little bit, I could have something custom made and whatever. But just for fun, I called Aerostitch and I said, hey, I was at your factory in Duluth 10 years ago, and I was fitted on site for a pair of pants. And I was wondering if there's a way that I can have it recreated exactly as it was 10 years ago. Lady who's super nice on the phone, she goes, yeah, we actually store all the records all the way back to 1995. So let's pull up your name. Yeah, I have you by your cell phone number. Here, let me just look you up. And it turns out there's my order from 2007 just sitting there going, oh yeah, so you ordered this in black in a 42 regular with 1 inch off above the knee and 1 inch below. Would you like it made exactly the same way? I looked at her like, I'm like looking going, are you kidding me? Like it was this easy? Like, why was I fretting over this? And the reason why I had to look into purchasing a new pair of pants is that about 3 weeks ago, the zipper that goes to the fly of my pants just completely, the head just came off. So I've been running around with an open fly, on my overpants and hoping that I don't offend anybody. But if I do, I'm just going to ride faster. And so I just ordered them right now, and I don't have to go down to San Marcos for that reason. However, there's a few things that are down in Escondido, San Marcos region, that are really cool. Like there's this really good donut place that I got to visit. The last time I was down there for a videography gig. And in addition to, it's the home of the brewing company that makes Arrogant Bastard Ale. So, which granted, I can't wear Arrogant Bastard stuff here at school. Sometimes I like to think, like walk around like I am an arrogant bastard, but I'm not that arrogant. I won't do that. So that is pretty much what happened there. It's just a nice change of pace for a while that I can actually talk about things that aren't related to how much, I dislike the way that so-and-so is treating me, or how much I really don't know what the hell is going on, or, things like that. It's quite nice to get a change of pace right now, and I'm hoping that continues. I'm still hoping that whichever way that this job thing goes, I'll find out sooner or later. And if things don't work out with Fullerton, and I don't get invited to the next stage, I don't know how competitive the crowd that I was battling against is, especially when I'm like watching the poor lady next to me going, the speed that you're going at to do this task is the kind of stuff that gets my ass kicked here. You know? Now, good news is out here, you know, I don't get the, hey, is this done yet? You know, it's like, look, guys, you know, I have like 75 other things to do. My current task right now is, and I requested this project because I still think that I'm going to leave. I'm still pretty convinced that, you know, something's going to come my way and it's going to work and I'm going to leave. So one of the things that I'm doing is I'm creating a handbook, at least for the preparation of the summer and the beginning of the school year, to document the complexity of all the shit that I have to do from June, the end of school in June, all the way to the first week of school. I am creating a booklet, a handbook, so that the next person who takes my position is going to look at this, go, how the hell did she do it? You know? I mean, I'm going to leave these people with their answers, but I'm also going to leave them questioning. Because there's a lot of things that I've done here, they have no idea. And, you know, it is what it is. You know, some of us, especially the ones who come in super overqualified, and honestly, I've been overqualified since day one coming in. I've had to create the systems that my successors are going to have to follow. I know this for a fact. And I can keep this all with me. This is all going to stay with me. All of the material that I have saved on this drive. I've got a terabyte hard drive ready to go. Just plug it in and save it all. I ain't playing. But one thing that I'm going to do is, even though, you know, I still feel like my exit is imminent, and I'm not going to say, like, you know, soon, but I will say that, you know, I'm not going to leave them completely in the dirt, because after all, you know, this job is the reason why I was able to get out of a particular hole. So I really can't say that, you know, I'm not going to leave them in the dumps. No, regardless of, you know, how badly I have been treated in the last 8 months. You know, I'm not a dick. So, and also because, you know, leaving these kind of things are the things that when they look at it, they go, man, I don't even know what we did, but, you know, we should have done more to keep her. I like being in that situation. That's actually kind of a funny situation to be in. And that's okay, you know. So, you know, that it is what it is, you know, but it's nice, though, to be able to talk about stuff like that. So thinking about the weekend, you know, I'm going into Saturday and Sunday. So Saturday morning, I get to take Patch to the vet. So one of my rats goes to the vet. We got to check out his feet, see what's going on, see if we can get some medication for that bumblefoot that he picked up. I checked his feet yesterday, and they don't look as swollen and infected as they were the other day. I think one of them, the sore is open. It was really gross. So I'm going to get that looked at. And then after that, I have tickets to the LA Dodgers game, which is really cool because I get to go with Evan and all of my cousins, and at least the cousins that I hang out with out here. And we're going to go to the Dodger game. This is the first time I'm going to Dodger Stadium. I watched a Dodger game, an exhibition Dodger game at the LA Coliseum a few years ago. This was probably about 10 years ago. And this is LA Kings night. So it's hockey night at Dodger Stadium. I get to wear my LA Kings jersey to a baseball game, and I get a free hat too. And I get to try Dodger dogs for the first time. I'm going to try Dodger dog. I'm looking forward to that. And I'll tell you, you know, if there was any time for me, and they're playing Milwaukee, by the way, they were playing the Milwaukee Brewers. Of course, if they were playing the Kansas City Royals, I'd be totally all over, you know, Arlene on that one, but I'm not going to. Hi, Arlene. Yeah, very much looking forward to my very first game at Dodger Stadium, and of all of the seasons for me to be, you know, watching a Dodger game, it had to be the one where they're just epically historic, winning and just destroying the competition, and of course they're in the playoffs, and let's just see if they go all the way. I'm not a Dodger fan by any means of the, you know, any means of the imagination, but you know, to have been able to see another local sports team, because I've never seen, like, I haven't been to a Rams game yet, and I haven't been to a Chargers game, and I haven't seen the Galaxy. The only home teams that I've seen have been the Kings and the Ducks live, so I'm really looking forward to this one. It's going to be a lot of fun. So there'll be lots of pictures of that. And then Sunday is the day that I get to play face-off with Cancer at Simi Valley Isoplex. This is that big, if you've seen me on Facebook, soliciting for donations, this is the huge, the second day of this really huge hockey tournament. It's a 3-on-3 hockey tournament in Simi Valley where all proceeds benefit families in Southern California who have to deal with the effects of cancer. These are hockey families, and so this is the charity that does it. So this is my second year of it, and just to clarify, I am not a goalie this year. I'm actually going back to defense. I am playing out, and in the bronze division for men. It's actually co-ed, but it's going to be a hilarious time. I'm going to have some great fun. My goalie is a fellow USC alumni who also played net for USC as well. So you're going to have two goalies, two USC goalies, two former USC goalies. We both graduated, playing on the same team. That's going to be tons of fun, and among other things. Coach, people who also are coaches and play hockey and just still enjoy it, and I'm just looking forward to it. So if any of you guys who donated to Face Off with Cancer under my page and you're watching this, I appreciate the donations. I'm still collecting more. I'm really glad to have made the minimum donation, just gone a little bit above it. And like I said, I'm still taking donations all the way up to Sunday. So, if you're thinking, hey, I want to want to donate to charity, and yes, it is 501c3. Yes, it is tax deductible. And yes, if you want your employer to match it and you want a tax write-off, please throw me the money. It's, on that secure site, it goes straight to them. I don't even touch it at all. It's right there. So, I'm looking forward to it. It'll be, we have 5 games. I'm going to be tuckered out. I haven't played as a player in about a year, and that was just a house league game. I was just dicking around in, and they let me do it. So we're gonna see how it goes. But fortunately, I can still shoot a puck. So anyway, with that, I gotta go. Back to reality. But thank you everybody for listening as usual. It was very nice to hear from some of the people who do listen to my stuff. I know that many of you listen and never comment or maybe never like anything, and that's okay, because I know that things that I do here, they reach farther than we'll ever realize, especially with just the exposure of social media. So I thank you guys for watching. I will see you. Have a great weekend. There might be more Facebook Lives this weekend, but probably at Dodger Stadium. We'll have some fun with this, okay? So I will talk to you all later. Peace out. Be good. Be good enough.